Hey everybody, it's James Clark. Welcome to another episode of XLR8. I'm really excited. I got a really awesome guest here with us today, Mr. Jordan Dennis of Century 21, Blue Marlin Pelican. Jordan, say hi to everybody.
Hey guys, glad to be here.
Just actually met up with Jordan. I've actually been introduced to Jordan previously, but for the first time, Jordan and I actually got to really talk here recently at the Florida conference. And Jordan was actually one of the speakers there, and he actually spoke on what he's been doing in Facebook. And we're going to get deep in with you guys on what actually Jordan's doing in Facebook. And just to kind of toot his horn a little bit, this guy's a 3 years consecutive, 15, 16, 17, I have no doubt in 18, maybe even a double centurion. And he attributes a lot of what he does to Facebook. So instead of just sitting here and kind of talking about it loosely, we're going to get kind of finite, get into the details of what actually he's doing. What's the ad spend? Is he doing custom audiences, posts, boosts? Like, where is he getting his content? We're going to get pretty deep into it, okay? But before we do that, I kind of want to give you a little bit of background on who this man is. He's got a pretty interesting background. So 17 years in the military, both in the Air Force and the Marines. By the way, Jordan, thank you for that, man. Much appreciated.
Do my thing.
Active duty, right?
Yeah. I was active duty both. I joined the Air Force when I was 20 years old in 1997. I was there for a little under 8 years, and then I was an F-15 and F-22 crew chief. What that meant is I was a maintainer, launch and recovery operations. We could be deployed, dropped a bunch of bombs, things like that. But it was my job to keep the jets up in the air and bring the pilots home safe. And then I got out of the Air Force in April of 2005, and then 6 months later, I joined the Marine Corps. Ironically, on the Marine Corps birthday, November 10th was my first day. And then I was in for just under 10 years, worked on, I built engines for F-18s in San Diego. And then the Marines moved me to Eglin Air Force Base here in Florida to go be an instructor and a maintainer on the F-35B, the Stovall version, the hover version. And then I got out in 2015 and I decided to take up real estate. I was part-time at the time, but I took up real estate full-time ever since then. And I really think that if I had not been in the Marines or the military in general, I wouldn't have had the drive that I do to accomplish a mission for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I think, so much of what I kind of want to get into today with you. Like looking at, I've obviously crawled deep into your Facebook stuff, and what I see is nothing that's outlandish and over the top. It's not, there's not been, it's just not something that's not achievable. But the difference between most people and what you're doing is you execute. You actually do it. You don't just maybe listen to a podcast or learn something from someone or read a book and then not do it. You've executed on this and you've done it well, and it's been producing well. So when did you actually start full-time in real estate in Florida?
So full-time, as in donating literally all of my time, night and day, to real estate, was April of 2015. I got out of the Marine Corps. And then from April 2015 to December 2015, I sold 63 homes. And
so your first year in real estate, you were a freaking centurion.
My first full year. Well, heck, that was my first full year. That was in 2015.
Jeez.
But in my first full year. That's right. Because in 2014, I was doing this part-time, and part-time, I still sold, 28 to 32 homes, I think, part-time. Wow. Full-time Marine, part-time, and I still took home, I don't know, maybe $150,000 as a part-time agent, just doing full-time stuff.
That's fantastic, dude. I mean, that's absolutely monstrous. So to kind of recap that, in case you guys weren't listening, 6 figures as a part-time agent, and first year in the business, moving 60 plus units, centurion producer, and ever since jumping into this full-time, has been a centurion producer every year. And I have no doubt is on track to reach the next level, which is double, which is fantastic. So you guys know that, in case any of you are wondering watching this, you don't know what the centurion level is. That means you're north of like $300,000 and you're either threatening or above 70 units. So that is ridiculous income. And Jordan, what percentage of it would you say is Facebook?
Oh, I easily get 85% of all my business from, this is both buyers and sellers, just from Facebook. And for, like, I've never done Zillow leads because A, I think they're too darned expensive. And B, I can control my audience on Facebook marketing and Facebook ads. I can reach out to the exact person the demographic that I need, the income level of the person I need. I focus on military buyers, so those people are very. I know what they make. I know where they're going to move. I know what rank they are. All those things, and I have much more quality leads with Facebook than Zillow will ever give me ever.
Wow, that's freaking monstrous. All right, so let's actually get into this. So, were you doing? And by the way, if that wasn't impressive enough of a bio for you guys, I don't know. Served our country, which is phenomenal. Comes into real estate and kills it right out of the gate, and is now running with at full steam. So, very impressive stuff. So you're not listening to someone that doesn't know what they're talking about in the Facebook realm. So let's actually get into this, Jordan, in regards to the particulars about how you do this. So let's first talk about, how did you get started? First of all, like, what led you to Facebook, and how did you get started? Like, how much money were you spending, and what types of things were you doing?
Well, the very first time I started with Facebook, I was still living in San Diego, and I'd got a real estate license for fun. And I didn't really know anything. I was just literally winging it. And I had Facebook. I had a personal Facebook page, and not knowing anything about social media, the only way I knew how to reach out to anyone would have been on social media. But really, it was more or less just me kind of showing off. And I'd write like showing homes in Temecula today, or got 200 contract this week. I'd just write something short and sweet, just so people knew what I was doing. And eventually it was just really consistent. And I would start sharing pictures of houses that I saw that day. And I actually was posting, not realizing it was affecting my business in a positive manner. Some people wanted to take pictures of their food or the beer they just bought or their feet on a beach. I was just showing homes. That's all I was doing. So I just shared it, and not realizing at that moment that I was building my business.
Yeah,
It was a little bit later when people start messaging me, "Hey, I've been watching you. We're Facebook friends, watching you, and I refer you to my friend," just from them watching me and me always being on their mind. So, yeah, just kind of happened by accident at first.
All right. So in the beginning, you're obviously, and describe for me, how often were you posting, and were you spending any money on it, or were you just doing organic stuff at that point?
Right. So this was in 2010 to probably 2012. Yeah. And 2010 to the end of 2011. It was literally just me posting on Facebook, just organically. Again, if I'm in a model home somewhere in Riverside County, I would take a picture of this house or something. It's before there was Facebook Live or people were even posting videos of just pictures. I'd write a comment on it or something like that. But yeah, I would do it a couple times a day for sure. Even on the weekends, I'd be sharing a video. I would even take a screenshot of a beautiful living room or a kitchen, and then I would put my name over it or something, just so they see like this beautiful kitchen. I don't know didn't matter where it came from. I just screenshotted it, put my thing over it, so people think that I'm busy, even though I was probably just sitting at home and stuff. But again, I'm on Facebook anyway. May as well just do a post. Takes 3 seconds to say something, say anything, for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
Again, that was when I first was doing it and trying to figure it out.
Yeah. So basically, to start, you got your traction. You're posting what, at least 3 times a day and 5, 6, 7 days a week. So you're basically on Facebook every single day, posting multiple times a day.
Yes, easy.
Yeah, and it's something that we've been pressing agents to do for a long time. And for those listening, I think it's just that consistency thing that a lot of people are missing. So now let's get into how you evolved. Now, at one point in time, the light bulb went off, right? And you realized that, wow, this can actually do something for me. So walk us through what did you do? Like, obviously, the light bulb goes off, and you're like, okay, I got to start making this exponential, right? I got to grow my audience, so I have more people to actually market to, and then how am I going to effectively market to that? So why don't you walk us through first? Like, all right, you're here in Florida. How did you? Because I can tell by the prior military in you, that you were probably very deliberate in your approach as to how you grew your audience. So walk us through that. How did you go about growing that?
Well, first of all, I had a Facebook business page. And so when I was growing that, what I did was every time I would get a new friend request on my personal page, instantly, I don't care who it was, I would say, hey, thanks a lot for adding me. And then I sent them a link. Would you mind liking my business page as well? And literally most of them did it, because why wouldn't they? It takes 2 seconds and it's a nice thing to do. And then that was the first way to grow it organically. And then when I was getting up to maybe 180 likes at the point, I have almost 5,000 now, but like I'm just trying to get to 200. Gosh, I'd share it on my business page, on my personal page. Hey guys, I'm almost to 200. Get me 10 more. Hey guys, I'm almost to 300. I just need 20 more hits, and that's it. And then people do it, and that's how I grew my business organically. Again, this was still back in 2012 when I'd moved to Florida already, got my license, and I wasn't really even doing any business through Facebook. I just wanted to be bigger. The way I got bigger was when I was fooling around on the Facebook page. I got to see all my competing real estate play. I look up a real estate in my area, and it shows all the pages with the most likes on it, and I can add it to a list of businesses to watch out for. So I say, okay, well, this agency has 1,000 likes. I'm over here at 500. I got to beat them. They're next. That was my motivation to get bigger. And now I have more local followers than most of the real estate brokerages in the area, most of them.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I don't know if I answered your question, but that's how I started.
No, that's fantastic. I mean, and we're just under 5,000 as well, and it's no easy task. I'm curious, what percentage mix would you say is organic versus like paid through the form of like campaigns and campaigns strategically designed to increase it? Like, what would you say the split was?
Oh, right. I honestly feel that I probably have 60% organic, and the other 40% is stuff I get from ads. I'm not a big fan of like campaigns because I don't think those likes are genuine, in my opinion. What I like to do is get my likes from a sponsored Facebook ad. And now Facebook has a really neat thing to where if you have one ad about one of your listings and you can and you have 40 likes, example, you can click on all 40 likes and it shows you who hasn't liked your page yet, and you can invite all these people. And then so I call that like a faux organic like, because you're still requesting the like through an ad.
Yeah. So do me a favor. Let's walk back through that again, because that's a fantastic tactic. Can you restate that for me again?
Oh, right. Okay. So are you talking about like
you run an ad and you like driving extra likes on those ads by being able to identify people that
what I was saying was when I don't get I'm not a fan of a campaign where I'm just trying to get likes to my page. I guess it works. I just don't feel it's genuine enough. Mm-hmm. What makes genuine likes is when I can post a beautiful post of a listing with my great photos. There's like 20 photos, a little blurb about it. Hey, contact me, because now it's personal. So now it is an ad geared for my audience, but now that audience is, liking my specific post because I've touched them somehow and sparked their interest. So now say I have a post about a listing. I have 20 photos. It looks great. I now say I have 40 likes. What I like about it is I can now click on, 40 likes on this post, and then Facebook will show me everyone's name, which, by the way, all 40 of those people or whatever, those are all prospects, every single one of them. And I can just go down and Facebook will let you invite who hasn't liked your page yet. I call that like a faux organic like, because I may have done it through a sponsored ad, but they clicked on it, and I organically invited them, and I wouldn't have had it otherwise. But yeah, every one of those likes is a prospect. Every single one.
So just to put that into context, so everybody listening understands what he's talking about. A like campaign is something very generic that honestly, it's like clickbait. You're able to get people to like your page for reasons other than real estate. So what you're saying, Jordan, is you got these people to identify with one of your ads. Now, maybe they didn't like your page, but you know they're now interested in real estate. And then now you go on the offensive. So that ergo the faux organic, I'd say that's as close to organic as you can get. That's pretty good stuff.
For sure.
Awesome.
For sure.
Awesome. So listen, what year was it where you decided, okay, I'm going to write a check to Facebook? Was it 15, 14? Like, when did you say, that's it, I'm doing this?
That would be the year I got out of the Marines in April of 2015. Because then I didn't retire. I got out after 17 years, 2 months, and 11 days.
Not that you're counting.
Not that I was counting, man. And then that's when it was feast or famine for me. So I got to put a little bit of money behind it. And Facebook is literally the most undervalued marketing tool on the planet. Because where else, if you have no budget and you're new, man, you could run a $5 ad. You can run a $5 ad for 3 days and still reach 1,000 people if you wanted to, if you have your audience right. So that's when I started with my Facebook ads. And I'd start small because I was trying to figure out my audience, like $10 here, $10 there. This is the way I see it, man. If you have a house listed for $200,000 and you're getting 6%, that means that seller is paying you $12,000 to sell their listing. So how about you just spend some money on a Facebook ad? They're giving you thousands of dollars. You can spend this much if you wanted to on a Facebook ad. You know what I mean? Like, use your own money for that stuff, and you're reaching a great audience. You're reaching a grand audience. You're going to reach. That's a good way of reaching realtors who aren't even following you. I think that your Facebook page is like your own MLS that you control.
Yeah, it's a great way to. That's a great. I've actually never heard anybody reference it like that, but you're absolutely right. That's exactly what it is.
For sure.
So tell me, all right, you decide in 15 you're pulling the trigger, and coincidentally, the year that you decide you're going all in on Facebook is the year you go Centurion. Like, right out of the gate, Jordan, what were you starting to spend? Like, for instance, what was your ad spend in your first month, second month, third month? Like, just guess.
Oh, right. Well, I can tell you that in 2015, my biggest month on Facebook ads was $1,200 in 1 month. And that was just a combined listing, because each listing every listing I spend at least $100 just on one Facebook ad. Because again, I go back to look how much money they're paying me.
Yeah,
this is what I can do for them. And then I did have like campaigns on there. I made a couple of videos. I sponsored some videos. But yeah, I think I started off maybe $100 a month.
Wow.
And then I ended up with like 12. So throughout the month. I think NAR said it a couple of years ago, like the average agent spends less than like $2,500 a year on their business.
Yeah.
The average agent, man, I can spend $12,000 a year on Facebook alone, and it definitely shows because with quality ads, because you'll get people reaching out to you either on your personal page or your business page, just from noticing you, because I've been inundating the market. There's a lot of really talented agents in my area, not necessarily from C21, that are doing something similar. But man, when you really attack it, they always see you. And again, I'm getting people who've been following me for 2 years, and finally they're ready to move forward. But they've always kept me in mind because I'm consistent with my ads, always consistent. Just if don't buy money on a billboard, spend the same money on a month's worth of Facebook ads. I guarantee you'll get 1,000 times the return on your investment.
Yeah, I mean, there's absolutely no doubt about that, and all the stats completely support that. So just to recap for everybody that was listening to this, started out with $100 a month, something as little as $100 a month. And Jordan, correct me if I'm wrong, it sounded like you were really driving traffic at the business you were already doing, or at the activity you were doing. So my point is, you weren't out there spending money on, running, like, for instance, organic, not organic, but paid, like, let's say, home valuation ads and foreclosure lists. And you weren't doing stuff like that. You were literally both branding and marketing at the same time?
I was finding buyers. That was my big thing. And I like buyers because buyers are ready to go. And as soon as they contact you through Facebook Messenger, it's just like if you're meeting someone out in town, because it's that impersonal. That was my mission, because I mostly had buyers my first year, and I got them from Facebook. There's a lot of other tricks on how I get buyers. For example, through a Facebook group. I'm in several of these groups here, and you can reach out to people via a video. Instead of send them a little blurb, you can send a video instead of yourself. Takes 10 seconds, and they can see your personality. And then even if the person who started the thread in the group doesn't respond to you, guess what? There's 5,000 people in this group. Someone else saw your video and can see your personality, and they'll reach out to you instead. So there's lots of ways. But initially the money I was spending was just trying to find buyers and make myself bigger. I really like, again, seeing other companies' numbers of likes, so I can get, so I can move up.
So were you posting anything from, let's say, the brokerage? Were you taking brokerage listings? Were you taking anything else other than your own inventory and your own activities that you were marketing to others, or were you using anything you could get your hands on?
Right. So it depended on my market. I'm reaching out to certain people. At first, a lot of times, when I didn't have any listings, because there was a time where I didn't have anything, but I was just kind of faking it, like I was a big success at the time. But I could take listings from my office, and I can save several of their pictures, and then I could market it like it's my own. I tag the listing agent in it, and that's it. But I can market it like it's my own. And I got permission, of course, to do it. Even if, heck, I've used listings from other brokerages because I really love the house and I thought I could find a buyer for it, and they allow me to use their listing. I'd tag them in it, the same thing. I would, any kind of people I was trying to reach. At one time, I was trying to get into, the luxury market for a little bit. So I tried Facebook ads for that, and I tried using their listings, the same thing, and just kind of marketing myself. But eventually, when you find a niche, man, just stick with it and then exploit it for as much as you can.
Yeah. So speaking of that, so it sounds like you have a very clear path in this, but are you doing anything in particular in regards to your sphere of influence? Like, have you gone to the point where you've taken a database and you've loaded it into Facebook, or have you just made sure that everybody that's in your database is in Facebook? And then if so, are you running, so kind of walk me through now what you're running on a particular month. Or like, for instance, are you running, like, one of the things that we do is we'll run, let's say, GIFs or videos or images that will talk about services we offer from a listing perspective, and we let them run for a couple days and then we take them down. Kind of walk me through what it is that you're doing on a monthly basis for your sphere of influence. Now, we already kind of talked about generating buyers and sellers, but how are you handling your sphere? Like, what content are you giving to them?
Okay. Well, if I understand the question right, my buyers and sellers, I'd say 98% of them become friends on Facebook. And then the content I put out is my Facebook Live open houses, my ads, my listings. Hey guys, please share. A past client has a kid who has a birthday, puts it on Facebook. I will like my client's post and I will comment on it, and they always see that I'm around. And then every once in a while, I'll just I'll check in upon them on Facebook Messenger, because it's a great source. See how they're doing, and always ask for business every single time. I tell them my goal. Hey guys, I'm trying to sell 100 houses this year. So I need your help. Who do you know that needs? Who do you know that needs that could use a realtor right now, or something like that? But that's what I do. We do have our stuff through Zap and through Business Builder that we do, but Facebook Messenger is literally like my favorite, like, keep in touch tool, and having them on my news feed so I can see what they're doing and always stay in touch with them via a simple like and a simple comment.
So from what I'm hearing correctly, then you're not really necessarily going into creating a lot of high level marketing content. You're literally just documenting your daily activities. You're documenting what you're doing for your clients, their reviews, the fact that you're closing a deal, the fact that you went pending. I mean, you're really documenting your day. You're documenting your week, and you're making sure everybody sees what you're doing.
Yeah, I think one fun campaign I did was I said, if you've ever used me to buy or sell your home, give me a like and stuff. And I had a bunch of shares. I had more likes and shares than I had buyers, only because people like my attitude and wanted to help out and everything. But yeah, I think that's the best way of keeping in touch. Period. Is just letting them let them see that you're paying attention to them in their little lives, and yeah, they know what I'm doing because they know my brand, they know how I do work, and they see my Facebook lives and they see my listings and they share and like the same. So that's been my best way of keeping in touch with past clients.
That's
for
fantastic.
sure.
So it sounds like you're not having to do anything out of the ordinary. You're just literally documenting your day as you go by. So that's fantastic. So let's talk about, as you're doing these things, let's say you have a listing that just went pending and things like that. Actually, you know what? Tell you what we're going to do, Jordan. Let's actually show people. I'm going to jump onto your Facebook page here. So give me a second. Okay, cool. So you've got a nice graphic here. And I kind of wanted to literally talk about, let's skip through here. Like, for instance, something like this. Okay.
Yes.
A pretty straightforward ad, or a pretty straightforward post, I'm sorry. And now, so tell me, like, you would post something like this, and I'm assuming you probably created something like that in Canva, right?
I did. I went to Canva, so it was free.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now what would you do with this? Would you go and you would post this, and would you then boost it? Are you running this as an ad? And then what does that look like in regards to how long are you running it, and how much money are you putting on it, and who are you sending it to?
Right. So something like that. Again, as you see, it's got my personal logo and the C21 logo on it. It's got my colors, and it has the address, and it has a picture of the actual house. I usually do this for if it's sold, if I sell it in under 3 weeks, then I'll put it on there. Sold in 2 weeks, sold in 20 days, sold in 1 day. And I'll put maybe $10 max on it for a week. And for an audience that I designate needs to see it. This one here, the house was only $144,000, but it's for military people. So for those who are going to need to sell their house, they'll see this. It's a simple ad that tells a lot, and people can. That's what people want to see. A lot can happen in 3 days. Sold. But yeah, and that'll also be shared on Instagram as well, which that's a whole different subject. But yeah, that's quality content, and less is more, just like that.
So, for instance, this would then be a post that you would boost as a post. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then you're going to drive it at a custom audience that you preset up in Facebook. Is that correct?
Correct.
So basically what we're talking about here is, like, for instance, let's say, and when you do your boosted, when you have your audiences, I'm assuming you're probably doing some demographics like earnings and things like that, or is it pretty loose?
Mine is specific to military around my area,
okay,
and their rank in the cities they live in. But that's who that one in particular is geared for. Correct.
Okay, so you get I guess the point is, for those listening that maybe don't live in military areas, you're getting very specific. So let's run this as a scenario that's not military based. So let's say this Crestview was not a military area. You would probably be driving this at people in Crestview, or people wanting to move into Crestview, maybe with not for long, but maybe with the designation of likely to move, and maybe do some demographics like income and things like that.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. And then if this is a less expensive home in the area, so then I like to think about where's this house located? What do these people like to do? The neighborhood. What's the neighborhood made up of? Primarily those kinds of buyers, and then or who live there. What do they like to do? Because you can have interest there as well. So. Yes.
So here's another example, just a simple under contract. And again, you're going to do the same thing with this. You're going to post, you're creating it in Canva, you're going to post it, and then you're going to wind up boosting it at a specific demographic. Is that right?
On most of these, I don't boost them. But what's important about it is that they always see that I'm busy. And also with this post here, you see the banner colors, the logo, that little template I made, that never changes. So when I get a new house under contract, I can take out that picture and just change the address and the square footage, bedroom count on it. And again, it's important because it's consistent and people will always know that it's me. People know that this is Jordan Dennis.
Yep. So like this is an example of just, is this one of your listings right here that we're looking at?
No, that is just an IDX listing.
Okay.
Listed in what's called in 32541 is Destin, Florida. That's actually a third party company that posts about 6 times a day for me on there, and then it takes me to a lead capture website for it. And then when I get that lead, I just load it up into Zap. But yeah, that's a third party company, and then they make, besides posting new listings, they'll make social listings as well.
Okay, fantastic. So
social postings, I mean.
Fantastic. So this is basically an IDX website that you have with forced registration. We have something very similar to this. We utilize the Real Geeks platform, which has a lot of forced registration. So tell me what you'll do with this, because this is interesting, because this is a lot of the stuff that we're doing right now. And we're creating very cost-effective, both buyer and seller leads doing this. Walk me through how and to who you're pressing this for, and what, if anything, are you spending on these?
Right. So this is through a company called Property Pulse. I spend $130 a month on it, and they know my audience because I tell them they have access to my business Facebook page because they need to schedule posts. So they go into my page and they just schedule posts like, gosh, 2 weeks down the line. And it's either a new listing, an IDX listing like this, and they make the IDX website for me. And then, like as you see, I haven't updated the new branding on it, but the whole point of it is like just like what you did. Oh yeah, new house in Destin, cool. They click on it, they're interested in it, and then that generates a lead for me, and I take that lead, I just put it on Zap. But I've gotten plenty of business from these third party companies, and there's plenty of them. And also it's third party. If you look over here to the left, you see welcome, home search, school reports, things like that on my Facebook page. If you go back to the Facebook page there, yep. On the left, the buttons on the left-hand side.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yep, on the home search button, you can actually search the local IDX MLS from my Facebook page without being taken off of my page. It won't divert you to any other website, which is a pretty neat feature. Whenever it comes up, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's probably just my internet that's doing it. But these are all connected to that provider, and these are helping capture more leads with that. That's fantastic. So that's really a huge thing that I know that we're doing, and I'm really glad to see that someone else is doing it. So these are just more examples of the same, correct?
You see Jordan Dennis Homes there. That was the same website. So that's this company is posting for me, and see they're just trying to invoke a conversation. They're trying to get people to like it, and 3 people did. I didn't put that on there. I paid a company to do it, but it's brilliant. And again, it just keeps Jordan Dennis Real Estate Professional on their news feed is the whole point of it.
Yep. And now they're on your site where they can jump on an IDX search. And then, so when they jump on your site, do you have forced registration when they wind up going to search for properties?
I think you can look for like maybe two properties, or just maybe a couple pictures of one property. Then they just put you in there.
Oh, bang! Cool. Yep.
Yeah, and then
awesome.
Yeah, and then again, I take the listing, put it in Zap, and try to capture it that way. I get more leads from my own marketing and my own thing. I mostly did this property policy. That's another one. A thing from just so that I can be consistently posting without it.
Yeah, no,
I mean that one there actually shared. That was a share of mine, and I got some reactions. I thought it was a kind of neat picture, so I shared it and stuff. But
yeah, Jordan, I think one of the biggest things that people don't do with Facebook is they just don't do it consistently. They'll they'll try to do something. They'll decide that, you know what, I'm gonna get into this Facebook thing, and then invariably what happens is they just don't post. They'll do it for a couple of days or a week, and then they give up because they got a couple likes. How long, like literally, if somebody was, let's say, coming to work for you tomorrow as an agent, what would you tell them? Like literally, like, hey, listen, I even heard it at the conference that you said that you're a mentor in your office, and any agent that wants to work under you is required to have a social media presence. Is that not correct?
Yeah, that's true. As a matter of fact, there was a super nice agent that approached me to help him, and he didn't. Facebook and social media were against his personal beliefs, and that's fine. However, I can't do anything for you if you're not into social media. The whole world is in social media. We're no longer in some past, more peaceful time. That doesn't happen. 5-year-olds have smartphones because that's what the world is. It's never going to go away. You need to embrace it. It's real estate. If you're not on social media, if you're not using a smartphone, you're wrong and you're going to fail. There's not a nice way to say it. You have to have social media, so you may as well slay it. So it's Facebook, it's free. Your audience, every person who follows you can give you leads or as a buyer. Everyone who likes your post is a prospect. Everyone who comments, or just if the comment is tagging the husband or the wife on your post, guess what? Facebook allows you to hit the message button on them, and you can send them a direct message. That's now a prospect. Why are you going to go knock on doors? Why am I going to go mail flyers? I throw away flyers. Like Facebook, man, spend the same money on Facebook ads.
Yeah, no doubt. So what would you say to somebody, I mean, because you've actually been there and done this, what would you say to somebody that, all right, there's usually one of two excuses that I get from agents not wanting to get in this. One, they've just moved into this area and maybe they don't have the network. So their excuse is, I only have 20 Facebook friends. Or let's say they're older and the technology is not their thing, and they're just now getting into Facebook. Obviously, building an audience and a brand on Facebook is not that difficult to do, but how would they go about it? Like, what's the shortest path to getting from 20 up to near 5,000 where you are? How do they go about that?
Right. Well, first of all, if you are 60 years old and you've never had a Facebook page, and you're not doing technology because you just don't get it, you need to learn, and just take 3 hours or 4 hours out of your day and go onto YouTube and write, how do I get likes on my Facebook page? And there's going to be video after video after video. Just spend some time and figure it out. If you're just not social and you don't have that many friends on your Facebook page, man, sponsor an ad. Spend $20 damn and just get some likes and everything. Just start posting all the time. Ask your friends to share your page. That's what I would do, man. It's so easy. It's don't hire. I tried hiring somebody to do my social media, and she did a really great job of rebranding me and everything. It's just I found that I could market myself way better and everything. She wanted to post way less. I wanted to post way more and everything. So, and I just think that you inundate yourself with it. If you're not on Facebook and you're not getting business on Facebook, it's because you don't want it that bad. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, agreed.
You just don't want it that bad.
And I think when you wind up hiring other people, they're going to be posting a lot of external content and it's not necessarily showing your personality. It's not showing who you are. So on that point, how crucial is video to your strategy on Facebook?
Video is super important because, like you just said, you can see your personality. They can know a little bit about you. Behind me is a bunch of stuff that I've acquired and my awards, my guitar by my favorite guitarist, the book I wrote. is mounted here and everything like that. So video is important for things like this. Video is important if you're out in your car driving around, you just pulled up into a listing and you're in open house, send a 30-second video of the nicest feature of the home and you look good and you have a nice, good, positive attitude. By 2020, most ads on Google and Facebook are going to be nothing but videos. So you may as well get over it. If you don't like the way you look or sound, everyone knows how you look and sound.
Yeah.
So like everybody does.
Yeah,
So
I know.
just
It's comical.
yeah.
It's
And guess what? If no other agents around you are doing it, or not that many, you should probably jump in it and stuff before everybody's doing it.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So in regards to, I mean, it's pretty clear that everybody should be doing this. And it sounds like a lot of what you do is really just boosting, the type of content you're posting. Are you doing a lot with ads, or is pretty much the majority of what you're doing boosting?
Most of my content are from boosting a post.
Okay.
I have had good ad campaigns for, like that one you saw, sold in 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
That's a legit. I did boost that, but I meant that to be an ad. Said a lot can happen in 3 days. Message me more if you want to sell your home, or something like that. But I get more interaction from people from just boosting a listing. And don't take the MLS and share it to Facebook and then boost the link. Actually take the time and install those pictures on an ad, because people don't like. I know I don't like it. If I don't like it, other people don't either. When you click on a link, it's taking you off of your Facebook feed.
Yep.
And stuff. If you just post pictures, then you're just you're still on your feed. You hit your little back button, you're still on the page and stuff. And you can like a bunch of stuff, comment. It's really easy. So just post individual pictures, set it up like a listing, make it nice and short, contact information, send a boost to your audience. And again, everybody who likes it and comments, that's a prospect for sure.
So would you say that you're literally spending money on what percentage of the content that you're posting on Facebook, how much are you spending money on? Let's say if you post, 3 to 5 times a day, 5 days, 6 days a week, what are you just posting and leaving, and what are you actually boosting?
Well, I always boost my new listings.
Okay.
And I almost always boost a new sold, showing that I've sold something else. People see that I'm working.
Okay. How much are you boosting those for? Are you running them to an audience, and how long do you let it run? Oh,
right. So for each listing, I'll spend $100 on each listing. If I have 5 new listings this week, I'm going to spend $500, $100 for each listing, and I'll run it for. I like to run it strong for 2 weeks, so it's fresh in everybody's head.
I love it. So now listen, I want you to talk about that, because that's a really important thing, because a lot of people, I don't think they don't run their ads long enough. So what you're saying is you'll put $100 on each listing. You're going to place it to a demographic that you aim at. For your instance, it's military or whatever. You're going to let it run for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
And what's that doing? So for the person watching this that doesn't understand Facebook, why are you letting it run for 2 weeks? What's the point? Explain that, how it's literally going to be recycled in their feed every single day.
Yep. And then now Facebook also sends an ad through Messenger. So when you're going through your Messenger, people contacts you, you've been talking to your Messenger, and you can see the ad in there too. You run it for 2 weeks, so you inundate the market with your product. The just listed graphic that I have and all those pictures, they see your name, your photo looks really good, everything's professional. Just literally always seeing it, and you have the same people seeing your ad over and over again. What do they say? Like when you do mailers, maybe you'll get someone to finally write back after your 5th time. Well, guess what? On a Facebook ad, you spend $100 2 weeks. Literally, the same people are going to keep seeing the post. And what's good about Facebook is when Facebook says that you have 5,000 people have seen this post, that's 5,000 individual people over and over again. Each person can see it 10 times, but Facebook only counts that one special IP address. So that means but the people are seeing it over and over again. That's why you're in for 2 weeks. If you sell it in 5 days, great. Keep it running, because people are going to keep commenting and asking questions. Hey, is this house still available? Oh gosh, no, just went under contract, but I can help you find one just like it. Oh yeah, that would be great. Awesome. There's another prospect for you.
Yep. Now, are you requesting people private message you in a lot of these things? Are you putting your phone number link to the website? Like, what are you doing? I know a lot of what you're doing is branding, but what kind of call to actions do you have on your posts?
Right. So when I'm doing a listing, and then just go, anybody can look on my Facebook page, Jordan Dennis, real estate professional, and then they can see what I'm doing. So, yeah. When I'm doing a listing, and again, the listing is just several different photos with my blurb at the top, I always say, please contact Jordan there's my number, or message me directly for more information. I always put that, and 90% of the time they're messaging me, and that's better anyway, because we can keep track of what we're all saying to each other.
That's fantastic.
And Facebook now has this really neat thing. In your business page messenger for important people, you can click a little star so you can know the people that are really close to buying, or the new prospects that are really hot. You can categorize them. It's a nice feature. Facebook knows what they're doing.
Can you touch a little bit more on that?
Oh, right. So as you know, on your personal messenger, there's everyone you've been talking to.
Okay.
Now on your business page messenger, either on your phone or on your desktop, all the people that have reached out to you or that you've reached out to, next to their name and their little blurb, you'll see like a star, just like a flag on Outlook or something. What's important. So Facebook allows you to flag the important prospects now, so you don't lose track of them, because I could talk to 50 people in a day, reach out to, and I'm trying to find who was I talking to? Oh, this one responded, and then I'll hit it. I'll star them, so I know who to look out for. So you go to inbox, and then under inbox, when it opens, just go to messenger. Messenger. So you see. So over here, right in the middle, it says Crystal R. And there's a star over on the right. You see the star across?
Yeah, fantastic.
I'm right there. Now mine's loaded. So then, but on your mobile device, it's all very close to each other, and you can and now you can mark that. So you see there's a star there. So if you had like 50 people over there, you'd be able to keep track of them.
Fantastic. So it's a great way that you can just kind of isolate and identify them and do what you want to do. That's fantastic. What other components would you recommend? Videos, a huge part of this, posting on a consistent basis. For people that are new, that don't have listings, taking stuff from the brokerage and leveraging that is obviously a big deal. Are there any other things that you suggest, any other platforms that you're using and finding success with?
My two biggest ones are Instagram and Facebook, because Facebook owns Instagram, and now Instagram has this new thing called IGTV, and you can make your own Instagram channel. They're trying to compete with YouTube, and Facebook's pretty amazing. I'm sure they'll do a good job of it, but there aren't a lot of people broadcasting anything on IGTV, so people should really pay attention to that. The other thing I'm doing now is the same for sale and sold and under contracts that I do on Facebook. I share the same thing on LinkedIn as a new post, and I don't get any business. I don't get a lot of buyer business from that, but what it's doing, it's again making me relevant and more noticeable to a lot of people. So
fantastic.
But the two big ones are Instagram and Facebook for sure.
So let's summarize this just for the people watching this, because I know we've talked about a lot. So obviously driving a campaign up there is huge. What number do you think is a good number to try to get people to achieve before they can really start seeing some really tangible results?
Over 1,000 likes.
Okay, so it's a great target number to start at, is to try to press for that and literally make that your daily practice till you achieve that, right?
Yep, and get them organically. And it doesn't matter when you're inviting your people from your page. Maybe you have 3,000 friends, but nothing in your business. Invite everybody. I don't care what state they live in. Just invite them, because they're organic. And then when you start running ads, the more organic likes you have, the better chance you have of getting the best audience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. And by the way, that Property Pulse thing, when they post at peak times. They just know when to do it. And when you run a Facebook ad, Facebook is running those ads at peak times for little money.
Yeah, no, fantastic. So getting people up to 1,000, and then literally, and for people that I guess my big thing for people watching this that don't have business right now, or they're a new agent, or whatever the case may be, like you said earlier, you can fake it till you make it. You can go out and tour properties, tour homes for sale, document what you're doing out there, maybe take some selfie videos explaining maybe what's wrong with a property, or just being informative and looking busy can very easily make you look like a very productive agent. And I guess it's social proof is what people need these days, isn't it?
Exactly right. Yep.
So if they're out there doing that and they're getting some following going, then they can start ramping it up and spending a little bit of money. And you're not even scared of running posts and spending some money even on brokers level ads or ads for the boosting posts for other listings, are you? Because invariably, you're obviously not claiming it as yours, but it's still, it makes, people have that perception, right?
Yeah, people think it's my listing. I made it clear on the post that it's not. But yeah, just again, it just shows that I'm busy and I'm trying to get prospects, man. I don't see doing that as any different than doing an open house for someone else's listing. Anyone who goes in that open house, that's now a prospect. If I'm advertising someone else's listing and I'm getting likes and I'm getting comments, those are my prospects. I've now just done a virtual open house on someone else's, on another brand's listing. You know what I mean?
That's, it's a fantastic point that you make. And I'm hoping that everybody watching listens to this. What I think one of the differences, the key differences here between what Jordan's doing and what I think a lot of people are doing is a lot of people are creating likes, they're driving traffic, they're doing some branding, but they don't take the people that they identify or they connect with and treat them as a prospect. And that's one of the key differences I'm hearing in what you're telling me is you don't mess around. You've got those people in your pipeline now. You're funnel filling. Some people do outbound prospecting and you're running ads to get people to raise their hands. And then you treat them as a prospect.
Yes.
That's how you view them, don't you?
Every single one of them. Everyone who likes and everyone who comments, that's now a prospect. And then, and they'll forever be in your messenger. And heck, I can even go back 2 weeks later and just comment again. Hey, checking in. I remember you liked this post. It's now sold, but I got another one coming up just for it. Or I'll find you another one. They're forever prospects, forever. So
I hope everybody listening to this grasps that concept. A lot of people just kind of play with Facebook and it's literally throwing, spaghetti against the wall, hoping it sticks. You're getting people to raise their hands, and then you're taking a very deliberate approach to pursue them, because what you've done is you've gotten 50 people to let's say a virtual open house. And then now you've gotten literally every time you do an open house, you have 5,000 people that are seeing your open house. And yet there's agents out there working open houses for, another agent, and maybe one couple walks through, while meanwhile you've done one and you don't even need anybody to walk through, but you got 5,000 people seeing what you're doing.
Exactly right. And speaking of open houses, you have agents doing open houses that aren't broadcasting on a live video on Facebook, saying, hey, I'm out here, my house on Elm Street. Come on down. Hey, look at this master bedroom. You wouldn't believe what the bathroom looks like. I'll be here until 3:00. Come down and see it, or something. Like they're not doing that. And that's your biggest audience.
Yep, no doubt. So listen, I think I know you've given a lot of great golden nuggets here, and people can take a lot away from. You can start organically. You can start generating traffic. You need to get to 1,000 quickly. It can be little as 10, 15, 20 bucks. Run it for as long as they can. Now you're at a place where you're spending probably at least $1,000 a month right now, right?
Easy.
So now what are the plans for you going forward, Jordan? Tell me, what are the plans for you going forward? Now you've done this, you've built yourself a little empire. And for people watching, and not to toot his own horn, but listen to me, listen to the power of this. This guy's probably crested over $1 million, of which over the last 3 years, of which, according to you, Jordan, you're telling me, 80-85+% is off of this. So for people that aren't, listening to the validity and the power of Facebook, and how, more importantly, how cost effective it is too, because, we have done and do Zillow and Google PPC, and good grief, we're generating seller leads and opportunities for like 50 cents dollar. And then you go on Zillow, you're spending thousands and you're forced to spend thousands. And even Google PPC is 10, 15, 20 bucks a lead. I mean, it doesn't get much better than this, does it?
Facebook's like I said, it's the cheapest. It's the most undervalued marketing tool on the planet. Heck, I have a listing in Destin on the water for $1.9 million, and I found the buyer. He responded to a Facebook ad,
No
and
kidding.
I'm getting both sides of that thing.
Damn it. Good grief. So
$100 Facebook ad.
$100. That just made me sick. I hope everybody watching this, I hope that just made you sick. That's freaking fantastic. So Jordan, listen, take me through, let's close this with, what are the plans for you, man? You've done some phenomenal things here over the last 3 years, and you've used Facebook as the vehicle to get you there. What's next for you?
Right. So now that I have a full-time transaction coordinator, Emily, she is phenomenal. And so I have a transaction coordinator now, which that was next big step, was letting go of every detail. I get a house under contract. I give it to my transaction coordinator, and I don't want to see it again. I don't want to know anything about it unless there's a problem, in which she'll call me when she needs me. That was step number one. And she's a licensed agent, so I can pay her commission for it. And it's beautiful. And I'm stress-free. I can just focus on listing and selling. The other thing we're doing is my company, Blue Marlin Pelican, has a mentor program, all right, to where now someone has signed on, wants me to help them, understands that I'm taking a percentage that we agreed on their commission. So my goal now is not necessarily have a team, because I want to be an individual, but to always have at least 5 mentees under me who are all slaying it, earning me an additional $50,000 in income just from their referrals. That's my goal. Those are my 2 big goals now.
That's fantastic. Well, I have no doubt, given your track record, that you'll crush those goals in short order. So listen, let's wrap this up. Thank you so much for your time, Jordan. What would you say? What would you say to everybody that's thinking about this? I mean, you've dropped a lot of, you've dropped some really good stuff on people. And you know what I would suggest to everybody watching this, go crawl onto Jordan's Facebook page. You know, one thing I like about what Jordan's done, and Jordan, this is no disrespect to you, you're not going to see anything crazy. You're not going to see anything over the top in regards to, like, he's not got a film crew following him around. He's not, spending, hundreds of thousands of dollars on graphic design. You're doing it, and you're hustling, and you're doing all of this yourself, aren't you? For at least the majority of it.
Yeah, that's it. I hire people to do things that I can't do. And when I'm doing my Facebook, you're right. It's just me being me and inundating the market with me. I do have a couple professional videos, but they're instructional and kind of fun. But there's not very many of them. They're more like just a profile video. But man, if you're like I tell agents here, and it's kind of harsh, and I don't mean them to take it that way, but it's true. Like at my company, I'm the top producer because I want it more than they do. I sell more houses than them because I want to sell more houses than them. I want to be better than them. That's just the way it is. I want to be number one. If you're not number one, it's because you don't want it that bad. That is a fact. No one can argue any different than that, in my opinion.
No, totally agree with you. And as it pertains to Facebook, it's an easy engine you can use, and they just got to get out there. So for those people watching, I know that spending money, especially spending money when you don't, you feel like you don't have money, it's a difficult thing. But I mean, Jordan, when you came into this, you were spending money right out of the gate. And I definitely think that it takes money to make money in this business. But I think a lot of what you did initially can be just done through blood, sweat, and tears, right? It's just time, effort, consistency. And then you want to grow it even further. Yeah, then throw some money on it. Yep.
And again, it's all how bad you want it. It really is.
Yep. And I think that, well, like I said, anybody watching this, crawl on to Jordan's Facebook and literally take a walk through it and see. You're just going to see it's very much about him. And something else that I think I really like what you said. We run into this problem all the time with agents saying they don't know how to do it. They don't know how to do it. Well, I don't know about you, Jordan, but nobody taught me how to do it. All right. Like I had to go put in the work, man. I had to go study online. I had to go, they're, like you said, either they make the excuse that there's something in their way that they can't learn it or can't do it. Either they're too old or technology, or they don't have the time, or they just stop making excuses and say, this is huge and they got to do it.
You're right. Everything that I've done on my page, I've copied somebody. Everything. I just find something and I emulate it and I make it mine, but I get the ideas from other people. Any successful person on the planet has done something by copying somebody else and just doing it better.
Well, to everybody watching this, I think one of the things that's made Jordan really successful, obviously, he's got a fantastic personality. He's obviously a fantastic agent. But I think to put my finger on it, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jordan, I think he's a Centurion level producer because quite simply, he just does it. This isn't rocket science. He does it. And in a militaristic fashion. We talk about this all the time. I was in law enforcement for 17 years. You were in the military 17 years. In law enforcement and the military, it's about mindless repetition. It's about doing something with discipline and just doing it every single day. So it's literally, it's a part of who you are. And,
exactly right.
And Facebook's a part of who you are, isn't it?
It is. I can't even imagine a world where I could have to sell real estate without Facebook. I just don't get it. Honestly, I don't even understand it. I don't understand how that would even. I wouldn't even know what to do if I didn't have social media.
Well, what an awesome job. You get to play on a social platform that everyone's on. You get to make a lot of money. You get to help a lot of people. In his instance, you get to help some families that are near and dear to his heart, and being private military. And for those people watching this, don't think that just because he's in an area that has some military connections that you can't isolate people just the same way he did. There's a lot of creative ways to do this. And all you got to do is just what Jordan's done is he found a niche and he attacked it. And hopefully, hopefully you guys can do the same thing. All right, Jordan, any parting words, man?
I'm gonna just, dude, I'm gonna get out there and get it. Take what you want. Be the best. Be the best because you are the best.
Roger that, man. There's no, listen, for anybody watching this, just get out there and do it. It's not hard. Just do a little bit today, then do it again tomorrow. And then, in short order, you're going to see these returns. Now, listen to this. Jordan Dennis spends about $1,000-ish, maybe a little more a month. And this guy's a Centurion level producer. You do the math. That's like what, 10, 12, maybe $15,000 a year he's spending on Facebook, and that's netting him, more than $250,000 a year. So it's not a question of whether or not it works, guys. It does. The question is whether or not you're going to do something about it. So Jordan Dennis, listen, buddy, thank you so much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate your time. I thought it was extremely insightful. We got to drill into your Facebook page a little bit, and I really, really appreciate it.
Right. I appreciate you. Thanks for having me. Hope to do it again one day.
Yeah, no, absolutely, my man. We'll absolutely hit you on some other topics. And by the way, I'll make sure I reach out to the leadership team over there. I know that the brokers over there, good buddies of mine, Jerry Sullivan, Jonathan Hughes, really good people. You guys have an amazing team over there at Blue Marlin Pelican. And I know you're a big part of that. You, Jerry, Jonathan, Brittany, I know the whole circle up there. You guys are doing really impressive stuff. And, the funny thing is, guys watching this, I know all these people very well. They're good people, but the thing that makes them special is they're just hard workers. They're not doing anything crazy special. Jordan Dennis is a hustler. It's not that he's a Facebook guru. I mean, he's a guru, yeah, but he's a guru because he does it. It's not because he knows something he doesn't have an intimate knowledge that you don't possess. And we're trying to even share what he knows now. So get out there, learn more, get out there and do it. And, maybe you can get yourself to a Centurion level production on the heels of Facebook. So Jordan Dennis, thanks, my man. You are the man, and I hope to do this again with you soon, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, thanks again for everything.
You got it, brother. I appreciate it.
You ain't seen nothing like this.